Order all your half-shell favorites for takeout or delivery. Visit www.halfshelloysterhouse.com to browse a familiar menu and place your delivery or takeout order in minutes. Same menu prices, just a $5 flat delivery fee every time at Half Shell Oyster House, located at 115 Lower Park Cove, Suite 105, Flowood, Mississippi, 39232, or you can give us a call at 769-257-7586. And oh yeah, tell them Sonya sent you.
She say sports. She say sports. She say sports. She say sports.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonya, and welcome back to She Say Sports. Today I have with me founder and host of OpenMic Network broadcast and my former producer, Dr. Mike W. Prince. Hey Mike, how are you?
Hey Sonya, how you doing today? Happy New Year to you, baby girl.
Happy New Year. How's everybody doing?
Everybody is doing well, staying busy, keeping me broke.
Hey, that's what we're supposed to do. But it's a
They're doing
blessing
it
to
very
have and
well.
to give. Huh?
Doing it very, very well.
Tell Steph I said hello.
I surely will.
So, Mike, I brought you on real quick. I'm not gonna hold you, or as you would say, I won't tarry long. But we had a lot of exciting things going on in the NFL in the last few weeks, right? So not only the playoffs, but we had some major retirements. We had one coach and two quarterbacks. Well, Coach Sean Payton with the New Orleans Saints, your former quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And is he retiring or is he not? The GOAT, Tom Brady, quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But as you know, Sean Payton, he coached 16 seasons with the Saints with one Super Bowl win. Big Ben retires at 18 seasons with two Super Bowl wins. And the GOAT, Tom B, retires after 22 amazing seasons and 7 Super Bowl wins. So what are your thoughts on each of their retirements and how much of an impact will the exits of these three for each organization?
Well, I'll start with Tom Brady first, since he is the latest and the greatest. He officially, at the time we're doing this, tweeted this morning
Right.
that he's officially done.
Yes.
So I guess it is the end of an era, and what an era it has been at the expense of my Steelers to some degree. But a tremendous career. And I had someone ask me just this morning, was Tom Brady the greatest? And I honestly, Sonya, have to say yes and no. Okay. And there's a method behind the madness. Yes, he's the greatest because what he's accomplished. You can't deny that. It is what it is. 7 Super Bowls is 7 Super Bowls. But let's put in context what and how he achieved what he achieved. The rules have changed so much from the 70s and the 80s that when you look at some of those guys who were quarterbacking back then, if they played under some of the same circumstances, they would have had the longevity as well to accomplish some of the things that Brady accomplished. So that's why I say yes and no. Undeniably, one of the greatest quarterbacks that will ever put on a football uniform. I don't care if it's professional, collegiate, high school, pee wee. But he had a lot of rules go in his favor. And like I said, I'm not a Tom Brady hater, nor am I a Tom Brady fan. But you have to sum it all up and categorize it for it being what it is.
Correct. That's true. So when you say you'll say yes and no to him being the GOAT. Then on the no part, who would be the GOAT if you had to choose another GOAT?
If I had to choose another GOAT, as far as the whatever era it was, Joe Montana,
Okay.
Johnny Unitas, Bart Starr, uh, uh, Peyton Manning. You could even throw in the likes of, I already said Joe Montana, but
Mhm.
these guys did it under much more physical terms, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
They were body slamming quarterbacks like they were sacks of potatoes when these guys were playing. And there was no concussion protocol. There was no tuck rule. There was none of these other things. And it was a very violent game. Football is a violent game, period. But it was a
Yeah, it
much
was
more
rough back
violent
then.
game. Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, so in terms of Super Bowl wins, would you consider him as the GOAT then?
Hands down. That's
Okay,
what I
I just
mentioned of earlier.
because
7 Super Bowls, you cannot deny that.
right,
That is
absolutely.
that will never ever, in my opinion, in the time I have left remaining on the earth, will ever be accomplished. Not in my lifetime,
Right.
And I think, people have this love-hate affection with winners. And Tom Brady will no doubt be known as a winner, the ultimate winner when it comes to hardware. But I'm just talking about with the protection that he had in the rules, is why I put a slight asterisk by him being the greatest of all time, such as a Muhammad Ali.
Right.
Muhammad Ali was the greatest of all time. There is no asterisk. He would have whooped Tyson. He would have whooped whoever else is up and coming. But because at that time, Ali was fighting 15 rounds. Now they were only fighting 12 rounds. So they reduced the rules for
Hmm.
boxing today, and they increased the protection rules for today's quarterback.
Right. And absolutely, I totally get what you're saying. And you know, you're right. There's a love-hate relationship with winners. I am not a Tom Brady fan, but I respect his game. You have like
Uh-huh.
I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan, but I respect who he is and what he does on the field. A lot of people hate Michael Jordan, but they have to respect his game. And he played when, because basketball is very soft now. And, it's very, very it's not the same anymore, especially NFL and I mean the NFL, the NBA. It makes me sad because that's my favorite sport. So it's just, oh well. What about Ben? Because
What about me?
I'll be
Well,
all
I
day.
think I'm, of course, being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I would have loved to see Big Ben retire 2 years ago. I
Mm,
think he held on a little bit too long. But once again, and let me go back to Brady for just a minute. He
okay,
will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, just as I
absolutely.
believe Big Ben will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. What he meant for the city of Pittsburgh, for the organization of Pittsburgh, to watch this guy grow out of Miami, Ohio, to become what he accomplished and achieved as a Pittsburgh Steeler, play his entire career with the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is unheard of in today's football with all the free agencies and things that go on like that. Um, Tremendous career. I think he will be no doubt greatly missed, but I think he had on a couple of years too long
I agree.
toward the end. And
Why
of
do you?
course, Sean Payton.
I'm sorry.
And I said, of course, Sean Payton.
Yes.
Uh, uh, Payton, I used to call him the whiz kid. He was like a brainiac
Mhm.
and like a mad scientist with the work that he could accomplish with quarterbacks. They took a chance on Drew Brees, and they were magic together. An explosive offensive mind and organizer, and he always, just when you count the Saints out, seemed like he had a rabbit out the hat,
Yeah.
and they come again. And the only thing that I'm dreading, and I'm going to go on record and say this, is that when he takes this year off, that he does not come back to lead the Cowboys.
That's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing some.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You know, Ben, Stephanie is a huge Cowboy
That would be
fan.
interesting.
Yeah, it would be frightening. It would be absolutely frightening if he was able to get there and take over the Cowboys.
Yeah, especially with Dak. So do you think his retirement has something to do with the fact that, Drew is gone now, and it's just they had a lot of injuries this past season, yet they continue, they held on quite a bit.
Right. They held on quite a bit. And what a lot of people don't know, when you can find that Midas touch with a
Hmm.
head coach and a quarterback, that is like gold,
Yeah.
and there were even discussions with Drew Brees this past season about him possibly coming out the NBC booth to come and try to help give these guys a lift. But
Wow.
I believe Mama Breeze was like, no, baby, you staying home and gonna heal up and do what needs to be done.
Right.
'Cause we know when Mama speak, everybody sure enough gonna listen, right?
Everybody gonna listen. You're gonna have some problems.
Right, but Peyton will go down as one of the I won't call it great because we use that so loosely these days, but one of the best coaches in NFL history.
Yeah, I agree. So the impact, how much of an impact will you think it'll make on all three of these organizations, since all three are gone now?
Well, as great of an impact as these guys brought to the table, one thing about the NFL and any sports period, you're never bigger than the game.
Hmm.
And the game will continue to go on without you. It was
Right.
going before you came, it existed while you were there, and it definitely will exist when you're gone. And
That's
that's one thing that every athlete has to come to the grips and the reality that when you've come to the end of your playing road, as hard as it is for you to give it up, and yes, you will be missed, but guess what? There's an old saying, next game up,
that's
next
true.
season is up right now. So you'll have your moment to reflect and reminisce and have a kumbaya moment, but it's all about getting ready for the draft. It's all about getting ready for the next season.
That's
And
true.
and
Got to
you
keep
know,
moving.
so no one is bigger than the game.
That's true. That is true. So, Mike, as you know, well, of course but you've mentioned that you are a Steelers fan.
Yes, I am.
Who do you see being a good fit as quarterback for your team?
Jameis Winston.
Hmm.
Jameis
Can you,
Winston.
can you elaborate why?
Well, number one, he come from the school of Sean Payton quarterback coaching. He's young. He's affordable. I like Garoppolo, but his ticket is too high. He would be too big of a hit on the cap. But
Hmm.
I really believe that Jameis Winston has a lot left in the tank. And here's what people fail to remember about Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston threw for 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, and they kept harping on those 30 interceptions, but the man couldn't see. He could not see. He
Right.
went and got laser surgery to correct his vision. And before his injury, he had the Saints, I think they were like 5-2.
Hmm.
And, and the Steelers would have enough room in the cap to give this guy a 1-2 year deal to continue to prove himself, make sure that he's healed, and he could be an instant plug and go for the Steelers right now. And I believe that from the core of my soul.
Hmm. That would be interesting. I
Yes,
like
sir.
that. Well, from your mouth to God's ears, we'll see what happens.
Say we have not because we ask not.
That's right. That's
Dear
Bible.
baby Jesus, send us Jameis Winston, a healthy Jameis Winston, that we can regain our strength in the north because the Bengals are for real.
They for real. Yes, they are. And we're gonna get to them. So, so Mike, as I mentioned earlier, it's been a very exciting time for the NFL playoffs. I have to say, for me, this was probably the best NFL playoffs ever. I have never seen anything like I've seen in the last few weeks. Do you agree?
Not just for you, Sonia, but for football fans, period.
Yes.
Never been a playoff run. You know, if we throw out the wild card games, because my Steelers got blew out, you
Mhm.
know, we look good for a quarter though. We look real good for a
Yeah, you
quarter.
did.
So only if we can only play a quarter and be done. But these games were phenomenal. And when you look at it, going back to what we stated earlier, these young quarterbacks, the game is going to continue on.
Right.
Yes, losing a Ben Roethlisberger or Tom Brady, but when you look at the quarterbacks that are remaining, Burrow, you look at Mahomes, you look at Allen, you look at
Stratford.
you look at these guys, and let's even add Stafford, even though he's been in the league, what, 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
But these guys are, they're professionals. They're amazing in what they can do with a
Mhm.
football. And it's once again with the rule changes and everything and how it's quarterback centric now, um, it has been phenomenal the games that we've been able to witness.
Yeah, it's been amazing. So, um, and I already know what you're gonna say, but I'm gonna ask the question anyway. Were you shocked that Tom and Aaron were knocked out so soon?
No, not by far. And here's why. I was more, I guess, surprised with Aaron Rodgers than I was
Mm-hmm.
with Tom Brady. Okay.
Okay.
Um, it's all about matchups, Sonya, in the NFL. Now, I knew that Frisco would be able to run the ball, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think their defense would be able to shut down Aaron Rodgers like
I
they
didn't
did.
either. I didn't
Okay,
either.
so that was a surprise. It was not a surprise for Tampa Bay losing, because let's be honest, the Rams, they put all in for today. Ain't no tomorrow. It's
Right.
gonna happen today. And thankful for them, they're able to be one of the last two teams standing for the Super Bowl this year.
So do you think, and in my opinion, I do, but you're the expert, so I'm asking you, do you think
Expert.
that's what you always taught me? You said whoever you interview, they're the expert. So you the expert. Do you think
Okay.
Antonio Brown not being there made a difference with that
Oh,
loss
no
with the
doubt.
Buccaneers?
No doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Um, Antonio Brown um, is an impact athlete. He is a dynamic athlete. But let's be honest, let's address the elephant in the room. Um, he needs some help,
Yeah.
some serious help. And that's not talking down on a brother or looking down on a brother.
Right.
Um, and the thing about it, there's no saying the same thing to make you laugh, make you cry. He has such a talent that teams are willing to put up with him,
Yeah.
even with the toxicity that he would bring from what I am going to identify. And I'm not a medical doctor under any terms, nor a psychiatric doctor, of what I think is some mental issues. I really think
Right.
there's some mental issues.
I agree. And like you said, not medical doctors, but you can see telltale signs of something is going on. And I pray that he gets the help that he needs. He's an amazing athlete. I don't know him, I can't say as a person, but he definitely, like you said, they put up with it because they know he's great at what he does.
I am
So,
going to go out on a limb, Sonia.
mhm.
Antonio Brown has enough talent and is young enough that if his agent can somehow convince him to go to a treatment center for a couple of weeks and he proved that he passed whatever their sanctions are, another NFL team will invest in his talents.
Just a couple of weeks.
Well, I'm just saying, whatever the term is,
Okay. Okay.
30 days or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But I do believe if he goes through that protocol, there will be another NFL team with a contract for him to sign.
I agree. Well, we'll see. We'll see. So, as you know, Sunday, Joe Burrows and the Bengals knocked off Mahoney and the Chiefs from the AFC for the AFC Championship. What a comeback. 27-24 win in OT. This will be the Bengals' third time punching the ticket to the Super Bowl. What are your thoughts on this Bengal team?
Well,
Bengals team.
being a victim of them from the AFC North with my Steelers, I got to
Mhm.
see them up close and personal and dynamic. Now, I will be honest, I knew they were good,
Mhm.
but I didn't think they would make it to the Super Bowl this soon.
I
I,
didn't either. I thought
I
one
thought,
more year.
right, I thought they were on the rise. Well, I knew that they were on the rise, but when you look at Chase Burrow combination and when you throw in Mixon at the running back position and the
Mhm.
defense and the consistency that it plays, uh, solid team. Now, on my picks, when they play Kansas City, even though I picked Kansas City, but on the inner part of me was 30%, giving them a 30% chance that they would actually beat Kansas City straight up. And I think I did that because they're the Cincinnati Bengals and I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. But they are truly a team to be reckoned with. And don't count them out for Super Bowl 56 neither.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, the Bengals will be playing the NFC champs, the Los Angeles Rams, who beat the 49ers in another close game, 2017. Von Miller and OBJ, they are ready to make a statement. What are your thoughts on this Rams team?
I personally despise the Rams.
Why? Wait a minute. Stop before you answer that, because I remember a few years ago when we did predictions for the Super Bowl, I thought you were going for the Rams because it was who was playing for the team from St.
Kadaro
Louis.
Hodge, Kadaro Hodge of
Yeah.
Prairie View A&M University, his rookie year, when the Rams made it to the Super Bowl. That was
So
the only reason
oh, okay.
that I
Okay.
was pulling for the Rams. The one and only reason. Now,
Okay. So okay.
why
I'm
I
back.
despise the Rams is because of this. Of course, I'm born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri.
Right.
Okay. We
Oh yeah.
rescued the Rams for 20 years. Got the city of St. Louis all hyped up that they was going to build this new stadium, and they pull the Rams and go back to Los Angeles. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I tolerated the Rams because they were in St. Louis. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but for my family and loved ones whose hearts were ripped from them when the Rams left to go back to LA, I washed my hands with them.
So you washed your hands. I mean, when you wash your hands, that means you done.
I'm done. But
Uh,
game recognizes game. They're a heck of a ball club.
yeah, they are. They absolutely
So
are.
when I put my personal feelings aside, I have to deal with the facts. And the facts are this is a loaded team from top to bottom.
Yes. Matthew, he sucked in Detroit, but him
He
moving to
didn't really suck in Detroit. It was everybody else around him
it
sucked.
was okay. Well, he didn't have a good team, so I'll say that. But
A good supporting cast.
yes, he moving his supporting cast now is A1, definitely A1.
Right.
So,
Right. Well, you got Coop, you got OBJ, you got Jefferson doing these things, even Michelle in the backfield. What can you do? It was more pressure on he and the Rams to make it to the Super Bowl because of all the talent that they have.
right, that's true. So, what are your predictions of Super Bowl 56? Who wins and what is your score?
Well, as bad as I hate to say this, I believe the Rams will win.
Okay.
Okay. But I think it's going to be uh, a classic Super Bowl game. And when I say a classic Super Bowl game, you're going to have your moments of scoring, moments of great defense,
Okay.
and it's not going to be like 41-36. It's not going to be anything like that. I'm thinking the Rams pull this thing out 27-23.
It's gonna be close.
Yeah, it's going to be close. It should be a very, very good game, but I believe the advantage has to be with the Rams' defensive line compared to Cincinnati's offensive line.
Mm,
Cincinnati offensive line has been dealing with some challenges keeping Burrow's uniform clean. He took 9 sacks in the loss, okay? But when you
mhm.
got one of by far best defensive lineman in AD on that Rams side of the ball, he can't survive 9 sacks in the Super Bowl.
No, because that would definitely mess with your head for sure.
Right.
Um, hmm. I I'm gonna have to say I'm going with the Rams too. Oh, my score though. I don't know. I will say 21-17.
21-17. Okay. You seeing it as a low scoring event as well.
Yeah, I don't see it being because both I believe will definitely be playing a lot of defense. So we'll see. We'll
Right,
see for
right.
sure.
Well, one thing what I really long for is a competitive game.
Yes.
And if
I want what we saw in these playoffs. That's what I want.
oh yeah, yeah. Now being that I really don't have a horse in the race,
Right.
it wouldn't bother me as much, and it might even be a bit antidotal for me if Cincinnati were to win, because I can feel better about them sweeping us this year. At least we got swept by the Super Bowl champ.
Right. Well, I'm a Bears fan. We've been on the couch since the beginning. So you know what?
Ah,
Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah,
ah.
we're hibernating right now.
Well, hey, you guys hired a new coach though.
Yes, I'm happy about that. We got a new GM. We got Justin, and our coach said yesterday that he will be building the team around Fields. So that's what
Well,
I'm excited about.
he also said that they're going to take over the North too.
And we are. Get ready.
The North
Hello.
side of Chicago.
Say what now?
Going to take over the North side of Chicago.
That too. Just get ready. That's all you do.
All right,
So
all right, TD Jakes, get ready, get ready,
get ready, get ready, get ready. Mike, it has been a pleasure to have you on the show. But before we go, I have a game that I play called You Can Get With This or You Can Get With That. And what that is, it's a way for the listeners and myself to get to know the guests better. So I ask you a few questions and you choose the one that best fits you. Okay?
Okay.
All right. You prefer football or basketball?
Football.
Coffee cup. You drink coffee in a cup or a thermos?
Cup.
Do you prefer saving or spending? You kind of mentioned that earlier.
Saving.
And Stephanie prefers spending. Got it.
Amen. That's that yin and yang, baby.
Do you prefer TV or reading a book?
Well, being I do audio books, so I guess reading a book.
Reading a book, really? Okay, cool.
Well, you don't think I can read?
No, you're a man, you're a pastor, so I know you can read. I know the Bible is your favorite book. So
Yeah.
so yeah. Do you I already know this is so funny. I added this because it cracks me up. Would you prefer losing sleep or skipping a meal?
Say what?
Would you prefer losing sleep or skipping a meal?
I prefer skipping a meal.
Oh, I know. Y'all,
'Cause I'm gonna get my
he
rest.
gets his sleep. Trust me, he
I'm gonna
gets
get
it.
look, for those who are not aware, and for those who may see this video and think I take it personal, if you've tried to contact me after 4:30, 5:30 p.m.,
It's a wrap.
because I am in the bed.
I mean, like
Sleep.
nighttime sleep, like,
Nighttime sleep. I get up 3 a.m. every day
yeah.
to get my journey started and I got to get my rest, and I'm gonna take a nap before I go to bed,
Yes, sir. He sure is. And that's
like
about
clockwork.
clockwork. I mean, I'm serious. So when I saw that, I just bust out laughing because I already knew the answer to that one. Mike, do you prefer being cherished or respected?
Respected,
Tell me why.
because respect is something that everyone should work hard to earn, and
Hmm.
it's not given. And therefore, before you cherish me, respect me, because if you respect me, you can't help but cherish
That's true. I agree. I prefer being respected as well. This is funny. You prefer Color Purple or Harlem Nights?
me. The Color Purple is my favorite movie
I
ever.
know.
And it ain't worth it, Miss Caesar. It ain't worth it, you know. But the Harlem Night
Yeah,
got some of the best lines of comedic genius ever, and one of the
yes,
greatest casts ever put together. You know, but if I had to choose one, it's gonna be The Color Purple.
the Color Purple. I knew it. Um, you prefer Oreo cookies or Chips Ahoy?
Oreo cookies,
Do you dunk them in milk?
no.
Do you open them and eat the white
Uh,
filling out?
no. What I do though, what I do, I'll open it and I'll eat the chocolate side first, and then the filling side second.
Okay. It's a method to your madness.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Last but not least, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Tell me why.
Aaron Rodgers, because he has a little bit more toughness for my style of play in football.
Mhm.
He does less complaining and whining with the officials. A cannon for an arm, even though he chokes in the big game, he is still one of the most prolific quarterbacks to ever put on a uniform.
Awesome. I agree. I agree. Mike, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Well, thank you for having me, and I hope I didn't disappoint you.
No, you did not. Tell the listeners how they can follow you on social media as well as listen to your show.
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at the Mike Prince Show. It's all one word, of course. We have a YouTube channel, the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Go ahead and subscribe to that. We're actually working on a whole bunch of new things right now. I got a couple of projects that I'm working on a book, and I'm working on another business.
Awesome.
We're really excited about that. So be on the lookout for us in 2022 and beyond.
All right. I'll be bringing you back on to talk about your book. Awesome. That's great. And y'all, you can follow me at She Say Sports on Facebook, She Say Sports 23 on Instagram, at She Say 23 on Twitter, and please subscribe to our YouTube page, She Say Sports. Well, that's my show for today. Until next time, this is Sonia with She Say Sports.